Okay, moving on to question number 8. Here you're supposed to figure out how many grams of chocolate you need to make 70 s'mores. So here is where we're going to use math that maybe looks like how we're going to do stoichiometry problems. So you could just figure out, okay, I know I'm going to make 70 graham crackers, or I have 70 s'mores, and I need 3 chocolates, so per every 1 s'more. So I need 210 chocolates and multiply that by the mass of 1 chocolate, which is essentially what we're going to do, but I'm going to lay it out like we're going to be doing stoichiometry so that you can see kind of the method we're going to use. So we always start with the number that we're given. So we're given that we want to make 70 s'mores. 70 s'mores. Okay, so we write that down, we underline it. We know that there's 3 chocolates in every 1 s'more. Okay, and then we also know that each 1 chocolate piece has a mass of 3.512 grams. Okay, per every 1 chocolate. So here, just like we've been doing in our mole calculations and like we're going to do with our stoichiometry, our units cancel, okay, and we're left in grams, which is what we're trying to find, and specifically it's grams of chocolate. So we do this math, we get 737.52. When we multiply across the top, multiply across the bottom, it's just 1. So we look at the number that we're given, the number that we know is the 3.512. That was a measured average. The 70 and 3 are counting numbers, so they don't go into our significant digit calculation. So we know we're going to have to report 4 sig figs. So that will end up being 737.5 grams. Okay. So that's how much chocolate you need to make 70 s'mores, the mass of the chocolate that you need. So we're going to do something very similar for graham crackers. Again, we're trying to make 70 s'mores. So we write out our 70 s'mores, underline it, put a multiplication sign. In every 1 s'more, there's actually only 2 graham crackers. Okay. And then every 1 graham cracker has a mass on average of 7.506 grams in every 1 graham cracker. So now we can write our equal sign, multiply across the top, and when we round, and then divide by 1, and we round to 4 sig figs, we get 1,051 grams. Okay. So those look similar to the same setup that we've been using for mole conversions, and the reason I set it up like that is because this is basically how we do stoichiometry too. Stoichiometry is the ratio. Technically, we're going to be doing mole ratios, but here we have kind of the unit ratios that we have 3 chocolate units per every 1 s'more unit, 2 graham cracker units per every 1 s'more unit. Okay, so these will be like the mole ratios, similar to how we treat mole ratios in a balanced chemical equation. Okay, moving on to question number 9. So number 9 is probably the toughest one of these post-lab questions. And you actually kind of have to do 3 calculations in one to figure this out. So I'm asking you, how many total s'mores can you make if you have 454 grams of marshmallows, 263 grams of chocolate, and 408 grams of graham cracker? I don't tell you how many of each chocolate you have or how many graham cracker pieces you have. You have to figure that out from the mass that I give you. Figure out how many total s'mores you could make, given the marshmallows that you have, given the amount of chocolate that you have, and given the number of graham crackers that you have. They're all going to probably give you different amounts or different number of s'mores that you end up at the end. Whichever one of those is the fewest number of s'mores, the least amount, that's going to limit how many total s'mores you can make. Okay, so if you only have 7 graham crackers, and you have 12 marshmallows, and let's say you had 100 chocolate pieces, well, those 7 graham crackers are going to limit the total number of s'mores that you make. If you're making our legit actual s'mores with 2 graham crackers, 1 marshmallow, and 3 chocolate pieces, then those 7 graham crackers are going to limit you to being only able to make 3 s'mores, right? using 6 graham crackers. So let's look at this and how we can do math to kind of figure this out. So let's first start with figuring out how many s'mores we can make from the amount of marshmallows we're given. We actually already did this calculation, but let's go ahead and do it again. So we're given the 454 grams of marshmallow. We know every 1 mallow is going to have a mass of 5.761. Okay, and then we know that 1 s'more has 1 mallow. Okay, so there we get 78.8 when we do the division. So we take 454 divided by 5.761. We round down, right, because we can't make 79. We have 0.8, but that's only going to allow us to make 78 s'mores total. Oops, I don't know why I have. So 78 from the mass of marshmallow that we have. Okay, let's move on to the chocolate. For the chocolate, we start with 263 grams of chocolate. Okay, we know that every 1 chocolate piece has a mass of 3.512 grams. Okay, and every 1 s'more has 3 chocolates. Okay, so here we end up multiplying across the top, multiply across the bottom. There's 2 things in the bottom, so we have to multiply those together. We get 10.536 when we do that. Okay, and then we do our division. We get 24 oh my goodness, almost 25 that you can make, but not quite, 962. Okay, so that rounds down again. So we can only make 24 s'mores with the amount of chocolate we're given. Okay, so definitely the chocolate is going to limit if it's between the chocolate and marshmallow, but let's take a look at how many s'mores we could end up making with our 408 grams of graham crackers. So we start with 408 grams of graham cracker. I should be a little bit more explicit here, and this is graham cracker, this is grams of chocolate, this is grams of marshmallow, and then we have our grams of marshmallow, grams of chocolate. I'm just kind of being lazy with that. Okay, every 1 graham cracker has a mass of 7.506 on average. And again, your numbers, you averaged them in the lab. Yours will be similar to this, but not exactly the same. So we got in 1 s'more, we have 2 graham crackers. So we multiply across the top, we got 408. Multiply across the bottom, we get 15.012. We do our division, and we get 27.2. We round down to 27. Okay, so this is going to limit the number of s'mores that we can make. We can only make 24 s'mores. After that, we run out of chocolate. Okay, so after we make 24, after we make 24 s'mores, we run out of chocolate. I don't know who would want to eat 24 s'mores, but maybe it was a big party. A lot of people eating s'mores. Chocolate, so the ingredient that limits choco, if I can spell. Okay, so the chocolate limits the number of s'mores. So that was actually all that was required for the lab to be submitted and receiving full credit. I don't know. We find out tomorrow what's going on with how we're going to deal with now that school's not going to be back in session at least till the end of April. So I don't know. Maybe we'll be doing more podcasts. Anyway, I hope you're staying healthy. And I will talk to you guys later.